record of the delightful piece they're going to play this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, 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 your attention, please. Your attention, please. Attention, please.
And now the moment we've been waiting for is here.
I have something to tell you.
Hey, set off, set off. 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 Whatever will be, will be. Will be. The future's not our future's not our future's not our future's not.
I believe in the future. I believe in the future. I don't believe in miracles.
Can it be true? It must be true, no doubt, no doubt. Life is going on as normally as ever. But suddenly something seems to have happened. Suddenly something seems to have happened. Everybody seems to be staring in one direction. People seem to be frightened, even terrified. I want everybody to understand this.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
There are a lot of things we don't understand.
We need answers from you. What did you expect to find? What did you expect?
There's gonna be a future.
It's your responsibility to do something about it. Well, I have the key in my hand. All I have to find is the lock. The lock. The lock. The lock. Now listen to me.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Set off, set off. Hey, set off, set off.
So it looks like we have a pause here.
Set off, set off.
Okay. Just looks like somebody's loading.
Set off, set off. Whatever will be, will be.
A summoner has reconnected.
All right, and we are good to go. So immediately we see red pushing into the river a little bit. Just waiting in mid-grass.
Nature can be a real mother.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright guys, so we have game 2 of a semi-final match between Team OSU and SWAGTUSKS going on right now. It's a best of 3 series. Again, semi-final for Spring LANathon 2013, provided by the San Antonio esports community. Looks like nothing too out of the ordinary coming out quite
Minions
yet.
have spawned.
No invades or anything crazy like that as of right now. Lightning or wolves first for Maokai. Same token for that. So, how does everybody think this match is going to turn out? Do you guys have any predictions, any concerns, anything you guys think is going to happen with this match? Go ahead and shout them out in chat. We will go ahead and see what happens. They really are an attorney. Yes, sir, Ja fan. They certainly are. This is game 2 of their series. Looks like Italy and Shen up top just trading a little bit of health. Nothing too major right now. But Italy has done a decent job of pushing her creep just the slightest bit forward. Can't admit is something I don't typically see, although we'll have to see what happens if Coercion is able to pull anything out of this. The comp does seem a little peculiar, but it looks like Maokai's going to come from the back and try and gank up on Nidalee here. Looks like they got the Ignite off on her. One more hit and they'll pick up the kill. They can be able to get it. It looks like they do. Maokai's going to go ahead and pick up first blood. Very nicely done out of him. So good start by SWAGTUSKS, picking up that first blood. Always a nice bonus. It looks like Maokai's just going to wait mid for a little bit. Maybe see if Kennen will bite. But it looks like the brush is warded, so no avail there. It looks like bottom lane has sufficiently pushed their creep to the turret. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and back off. Maybe Soraka will drop a ward.
Nature can be a real mother.
Just some passive farming. And just some pretty standard stuff here. Gonna go ahead and just farm up a little bit. You see bottom lane just trying to basically freeze their lane as long as they possibly can. Wait for that next creep wave to catch up. Looks like Shen is pushed back just a bit. So far, pretty even though. Nobody has really fallen too far behind in a gold lead or a gold deficit by now. But it looks like Maokai's going to camp bot a little bit. We'll have to see if anything turns out of that. But it looks like OSU is pretty aware of his positioning, although that Soraka is getting pretty close to that brush there. So they might not be aware. Just kind of hanging out. Gonna go ahead and see if Maokai was gonna do anything there. Looks like OSU just trying to play passively, farm their creep. See if anything turns out of that. Looks like Kassadin leaving mid here. He might be trying to come bot to try and help out just the littlest bit. We'll see if he comes through this rush here, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and jump on him. And here comes Kassadin, jumps in on the back. Fane's going dangerously low. Is Ignite and has to go ahead and give up his life there. Kassadin flashing back over the wall, and they'll just go ahead and pick up that kill and back off. Very nicely done on their part. Very low risk and high reward play on their part. It looks like Kenan catches Kassadin right in the jungle, is going to pick up that kill. Maokai's obviously not going to let that happen for no price, and Tarek's going to try the stun, but he gets bandage tossed by Amumu, and it looks like they might have enough damage output to just go ahead and pick up that kill as well. Kennen, just the auto attack's going to go ahead and pick up the kill. So far, a pretty even game. Seems like we're trading fairly well. Looks like Maokai's staying at blue here. Maybe we'll try and steal it, but it looks like the ward has gone down on the brush, and Jig's up. They find out that he is there, but are they going to have enough damage? Doesn't look like it with Shen. Amumu's going to be forced to burn his ult, and is it going to matter? Looks like Soraka's Ignit's too low, and go ahead and they'll pick up the kill on her. Amumu's just trying to kite backwards, so buy time for Kennen to get back to River. He'll go ahead and E in, and nothing really will probably happen from this. Both teams will probably back off, and that'll be the it. But so far, it's, again, increasingly more even. So OSU doing a bit better in the job as a farming is concerned. You'll see the kills are even. They're up just the slightest bit in gold. Looks like Soraka back, leaving Vayne alone bot. Tarek is sensing that she's alone and decides to venture into the brush to try and just push her back just a littlest bit. Soraka deciding just to ward Dragon, just to be safe. And Vayne known that she's in the brush, pushes Tarek out with a tumble. Kennen pushing Kassadin back just a bit. That's good for them. Lands the stun. Good tumble away on Vayne. Mid lane training pretty well at this point. And again, just falling back into a passive. Get your farm up, buy your first item, and then you'll really start to see more team plays happening. SWAGTUSKS bot has pushed him back kind of far here. But it looks like OSU is just electing to play passively. Not really minding that they're back there, and Vayne just kind of punishing people for being just ever so slightly out of position. So fairly solid play on her part. It's like Nidalee get jumping in a bit too far there on Shen, getting punished a little bit. So Kennen comes out in mid, as well as Amumu. They blast her back, but is Tarek going to be able to get away? No, barely lands that bandage toss, and they're going to be able to pick up that kill. Very, very nice Q out of Amumu there. That had to be max range. Very nicely done. And it looks like OSU may be trying to just push away, so they might be able to start Dragon soon. Maokai keeping close eye on it, though. Tristana jumps away, not to get punished too hard by that Vayne. Kassadin flashes in, lights up Kennen. Look at that damage. Very nicely done. Doing okay on mana in mid lane for the time being. Looks like maybe just trying to pick at the turret a little bit. Forces a stun out of Tarek there. Never can hurt. Movement just finding his way bot lane. Buying a little bit of time to maybe try and freeze the creep, but it looks like it just pushes back ever so slightly. Not necessarily a bad thing. Looks like Nidalee maybe pushing a bit too far forward with the Kassadin roaming top. So far, pretty passive game for the time being. Still pretty even. Although that Maokai defending mid turret is getting a bit low compared to the Keenan. Looks like bot, we're going to have a little bit of an engagement. It looks like, oh, they land the stun on Vayne and the exhaust. She'll be able to pop off about half her health before she's forced to back off. Vayne just lighting up Taric a little bit, punishing for him being a little out of position there. And just looks like some pretty even trades. And it looks like SWAGTUSKS pinging that the mid is coming down to the bot, signaling them to be careful. Vayne getting really lit up, and the shield there is very good. Nidalee just pushing Shen back just a little bit. It looks like we might have our first attempt for Dragon. Seems like we might just be posturing the littlest bit. Looks like Shen and Nidalee just exchanging damage there. And it looks like SWAGTUSKS is going to have a little bit of time to pick at this bottom turret. Doesn't look like it's going to be contended, so they very well might just pick it up. And while it's not much, it is a step in the right direction. Back off just a bit. Doesn't look like enough creep to really defend them to be able to do that. You can see the gold lead is not too far off. Looks like 0.8k in favor of Team OSU. Still just some fair damage coming out, and it looks like they're just going to go ahead and try and take Dragon at this point. It looks like Keenan's falling back, but still it looks like SWAGTUSKS don't really have any idea that it's coming. Although Taric now knows, although too late. They'll go ahead and pick up Dragon for basically free, so very nicely done off Team OSU. And back we go to the lane phase. Maokai's going to go ahead and jump in. And Kassadin's not too far behind. We'll have to see if he burns another one of his ult, but gets landed by the stun. That was an excellent stun by Keenan. That really saved his butt there. Very nice. And so far, we just see, again, just a pretty passive game. So far, nothing major team fight-wise has happened, and nobody's too far behind off of the other. Amumu has taken a slight lead in the jungle over Maokai, but Maokai does pick up 2 kills out of there, so it seems to be evening out.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Looks like Nidalee's just going to go ahead and take top and back off. Very nicely done by Tan Dangerous. But did he overextend? It looks like it. Maokai's going to jump in on him, and Shen's going to attempt to land the stun, but the Nidalee Cougar's too fast. Just go ahead and get away there. looks like Maokai and Cassidy are just going to try and come in on this Keenan, but the brush is warded, so I imagine Keenan's just going to back off, and that's exactly what he does. And they see Nidalee is trying to come to mid to try and help out. Forced to back off there by that Maokai, really zoned out of the mid lane there. And it looks like for the most part, SWAGTUSKS is taking control of mid. And are we going to see something mid here? Looks like a Mumu is going to go ahead with the Oracle and just start to pick off wards in the river, which is never a bad thing. Looks like Vayne getting slowed and exhausted there a little bit, but she decides to just go ahead and tumble right back on. Condemns Tarek back into the wall, but is it good for anything? No, not so far. And Shen shows up to the team fight and lands a stand on Vayne, and that's just going to be it for her. And we're going to see Shen go ahead and pick up the kill on Little Rooster. Very nicely done there. And now Soraka is really just forced to play under the turret, far behind her creep, seeing as there's 3 bots. She needs to be extremely careful. And are we going to see something happen mid? Looks like a Mumu Keenan headed mid. Vanish Shots lands on Lisa and Q, and Mumu's going to go ahead and pop his ult. Kinnan's going to go ahead and get in a couple of damage, pick up the kill right there. Maokai's getting extremely low, but are they going to be able to pick up the kill? Mumu flashes forward and goes ahead and picks up the kill on Maokai. Nice flash there. And you'll see that Team OSU is now at 6-4 in kills. Ever so slightly pulling ahead, up for almost 4K. So not bad at all on their part. Vayne's going to pop her ult and tumble forward. Not sure if it's going to be good for anything there, but we'll see. And Tristana pushes her back, and Vayne's ult will wear off. So Vayne's going to go ahead and try and chase him down, hits him with a tumble. And forces Tristana Tarek to back off the lane a little bit. Not necessarily a bad thing. Looks like Kinnan may be overcommitting a little bit. Gets ignited by that Cassidy. Cassidy, we'll see if he ults in. He does. Oh, but he gets stunned. Very nice stun. And the Bandage toss by Mumu will save it. Very nicely done there. That was a ridiculously good play on Mumu's part. Really good game sense coming in mid. So OSU just creeping ahead, one step at a time, one kill at a time. So Soraka with the Oracle here is just going to go ahead and clear wards out of her jungle. Never a bad thing. Vayne deciding to tumble into Tristana there, just trading damage for the most part. Mana refill coming out from Soraka there.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Looks like Keenan's going to pick up the mid turret. So slowly but surely, like I said, just tipping into the favor of Team OSU. Very nicely done. And a move with that Oracle is proving to be extremely helpful, picking off ward after ward. And I feel like if OSU would just come bot right now, they'd be pretty well off. Clear off all those wards. And maybe that's what they're deciding to do. We'll have to see. They're waiting in the grass here. It's not warded, so they need to be careful. As soon as somebody jumps in, but the ward does come down and the jig's up, but it doesn't even matter because all 5 of Team OSU is down. Mumu's going to go ahead and ult, and it looks like Nidalee's going to pick up the first kill. And Maokai's Shaw falls shortly after to a Mumu. And it looks like Vayne getting a little bit low. Cassidy trying to ult in and pick him off, but it's not enough. Vayne does get away. And it looks like we're just going to have a 3-0 on Team OSU's part. So again, Team OSU just proving to be in control of this game. Not afraid of any situation, and just very good team composition there in order and team movement to try and get into some 3 kills. As a bonus, they're just going to go ahead and pick up Dragon as well.
Slain the dragon.
Looks like SWAGTUSKS doing their own share of clearing out some wards. Never a bad thing, just pinking. While Soraka just still running around with that Oracle. And ready, back up. Bane's gonna go ahead and take it. Dragon will be back up shortly. We'll have to see what happens. Maokai finds Mumu in the brush there while Keenan pushes back Tarek a little bit. Whiffs on the bandage toss, but here comes Cassidy in. Oh, when he gets stunned, Coercion just overcommitting just a very, very little bit. He does land a stun on Maokai and picks up the kill. Very nice turnaround there for being outnumbered. Is he going to be able to get away from the kill? Yes, he does. Picks up the double kill before finally falling to Cassidy. And it looks like Panda Quasi is getting caught a bit out of position, allowing Little Rooster to pick up a kill as well. So still, pretty good 3-for-1 on Osu's part rather. So continuing to trade efficiently. This is getting a little low versus this Shen. I don't really know if he's going to be able to pick up the kill. Shen getting caught behind the creep though, he won't be able to get away.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
And bot will go ahead and pick up the opposing turret as well. So yet another turret falling in the favor of Team Osu. Up 3 turrets to none. And roughly at 8k gold lead. 7.9 exactly. So each little thing that they're picking up, each game objective, each team movement that they're doing is slowly but surely piling up into a huge lead. We'll have to see if they can maintain that lead for the mid and late game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And in exchange, it looks like SWAGTUSKS are going to pick up that bottom turret thanks to the help of that creep wave. And it looks like they're very well aware that Maokai is trying to pick up red. They do have that brush warded. Nidalee's going to try and jump in. Shen's going to come back down for some insurance for Maokai to get away. And looks like we're just going to disengage and continue the game. Oh my god. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on. Rattata, much better. Pandora almost failed me, guys. So it looks like the teams are posturing mid. Both the tops remain top. Keenan go ahead and landing the stun on that caster. The bandit toss goes in as well, and Keenan's going to go ahead and pop him out. He's going to go ahead and see what happens here. It looks like Maokai getting a little bit low. Mumu's going to go ahead and ult there. And everybody's staying pretty low, but they're trading well. But Cassidy finally picking up the kill on Keenan there. And it looks like they're just going to go ahead and force to be disengaged, but Vayne gets stunned as well, and they pick up that one. Or they don't. She goes ahead and gets away. Very, very nicely done. The Guardian Angel saving Vayne. But they're going to go ahead and pick up the kill on Soraka. She's a little bit out of position. So, not bad. Not bad. SWAGTUSKS clawing back into the game. Good 2-for-0 for them. And they're going to push their advantage mid. Nidalee getting silenced by Cassidy. Pushed back to that secondary turret while they're going to go ahead and take mid.
Blue team's turret
barely
has been
hit Shen there.
destroyed.
Very nice. looks like they're just going to go ahead and back off. All a little low. Just going to go ahead and port back, heal up, get another item, and jump back in. Start Baron. Everybody's coming towards Baron. SWAGTUSKS is massively out of position. Did they have a ward here? It doesn't look like it. But they're pretty aware that they don't see anybody, and they do see that it's going to be taken. Maokai tosses in a Sapperling. And it looks like OSU picks up Baron Nashor. Kassadin flashes in. Ults in, but Vayne kills him before he can ult back out. Nicely done there. Maokai getting caught a little bit out of position. If Vayne would just go ahead and tumble towards him, land that extra damage. And she does. And it looks like that's all that's going to happen. So OSU's just going to pick up a kill there, as well as Baron. So very nicely done on their part. Doing a nice job of continuing the red buff. Looks like Keenan's going to pick up Zhonya's, so we'll have to see how he incorporates that back into the game. Should be pretty interesting. Looks like OSU's just going to go ahead and tie in Dragon here. Doesn't look like they're going to be contested very much. Maokai passes in a Sapperling, but it's really irrelevant. They do pick up that dragon. So what ground was made up by SWAGTUSKS, they lost back to OSU. They did cut the lead down to about 5k gold, but it looks like they're just about 9k behind now. All the dragons and barons really adding up for OSU. Out some wards here. Now OSU needs to be careful here because that brush is warded. They did not pink it. So SWAGTUSKS know of their movement. It looks like they may be able to try and pinch them off here. If they position the right way, they could make this beneficial for them. But it looks like they're just going to slip out into bot lane. Although Amumu deciding to Vanish toss in on Maokai there, and wow, Nidalee Spear picks up the kill on Maokai. Very nicely done there. And Vayne starting to show that she really has that damage. Accidentally condemns away the Kassadin, but it's really not that big of a deal. Tristana has to jump away to get out of the damage. And it looks like Team OSU is really starting to take control of this game. They're really dictating the pace and the flow of it, being able to really force people into or out of a position. Getting ulted on and silenced there doesn't really seem to matter as Amumu just goes in and picks up the kill on Tarek. Turret will fall. Nidalee will pick up another kill on Shen. They're going to go ahead and chase down that Kassadin. Kassadin will try and ult out while Nidalee is just going to go ahead and try and chase her down in the Cougar form. The basic attacks, and the spear leaves him with barely any health, 23 health at all. But it does a good enough job of pushing them back for them to take the first inner turret and the inner inhibitor.
Purple team's inhibitor has been
Probably
destroyed.
just going to go ahead and clear out the creep here, back off. And just a normal reset. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and pick up SWAGTUSKS blue on the way to. Why not? Trying to give it to Keenan. He backed off a little too far. And they finally got it. OSU in complete control here. See if they can continue to press their advantage and pick up game 2 here. The esports community, LANathon 2013 semifinals for the League of Legends tournament. SWAGTUSKS are up 1-0 on Team OSU. For those of you that are just joining us, this is a semifinal match for the San Antonio Esports Community League of Legends tournament from the Spring LANathon 2013. It's a best 2 out of 3. So if SWAGTUSKS picks up this game, pulls it out, does the comeback, they will advance to the finals where O Gaming is waiting for them. O Gaming went ahead and picked up game 3 earlier in the night. And they wait in the finals for the winner of this match. Cassidon's going to go ahead and ult out. Nidalee go ahead and joins the fight. Coercion goes ahead and uses Zanya's while Amumu is going to go ahead and ultimate all 4 of SWAGTUSKS characters there. Amumu goes ahead and picks up a kill on Maokai. Shen barely flashes over the wall and live. One more tumble and an auto attack from Vayne, and she would have been fallen as well. Very nicely done.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Looks like OSU pressing the advantage further, taking that inner top turret. And go ahead and take the top inner inhibitor as well.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Cassidon is going to go ahead and ult him, but a nice condemn by Vayne, forcing him into the wall, but Cassidon's not going to give up. He's going to go ahead and flash back. He gets ignited and then taken out by Lil Rooster. Just committing a little bit too far there. They're going to go ahead and try and chase Nidalee down, but it might be too little too late. They're really snowballing. You're looking at Amumu being 5-0-11. Nidalee being 3-1-5. So Amumu really playing very well. Decides to just turn back and kill it. Very nice. And it looks like OSU's going to go attempt Baron for the 2nd time. Tarek goes ahead and drops a ward in the Baron pit. Maokai's waiting on the other side. While Tristana waits at the top. Are they going to try a steal here? We'll see. Does not have Maokai jumps in, ults in, spins away, but it's too little too late. And the bandage toss gets all the way up to Tarek. Very nicely done. Pushed away by Tristana. And Amumu whiffs the ult, so it was a very nice flash on Tarek's part there. Barely got out of that Amumu ult.
Purple team's
like Cassidon trying to save that inhibitor, but just being totally fished off by OSU. And we'll have to see if this is the killing blow from OSU. If SWAGTUSKS does not get their team together, they could press their advantage far enough to take both of the inhibitor turrets. And then that Nexus. It looks like Vayne getting a little bit low. That silence by Cassidon taking a good chunk of his health. And it looks like they're just going to be forced to disengage, but not before Keenan gets stunned by Shen. Slowed. Cassidon is just going to go ahead and ult back on him, and Keenan's forced to Zanya's, and it doesn't look like he's going to get out of that one. They're going to go ahead and pick up the kill on him. cast it in with the silence on Soraka. Shen's going to go ahead and stun in. They're going to go ahead and pick up that kill on Soraka as well. Looks like Amumu trying to get away as well. I don't doubt that he'll be successful in doing so. Very nice bandage toss into Raze. Oh, and then he gets trapped into the grass, and Tristan is going to go ahead and pick up the kill. So Team OSU can't keep affording to do stuff like that. Don't want to let him back into the game. So Vane's going to go ahead and ult and try and pick off everybody, and the damage purely coming out of Vane is just ridiculous. And it looks like they're just going to go ahead and surrender is what it looks like.
Blue team double kill.
And that's what happens. So Team OSU picks up